Hello everyone and welcome to another video with me, Umber Rays, and today I'm taking a look at War of the Visions' first event ever, the crossover event with Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. Now, if you know me, I'm a pretty big fan of Final Fantasy XIV, although I have not gotten much time to play it lately. I haven't got to play the new Nier raid, and man, that feels bad, but there is just so many things going on, including messages right when I start beginning recording. Anyway, yeah, I have been playing a fair bit of War of the Visions this weekend, getting into the game and figuring out what is working for me, what is not working for me, what I like and what I don't like. And that is stuff that I definitely do want to cover, but considering that the event is going right now, I want to talk about it. Final Fantasy XIV event. What are my impressions so far? And needless to say, my impressions are both good and bad. And yeah, that's what we're here to talk about, as well as strategy, so let's get right into it. First of all, the FF14 event works basically like any other event in any game I've ever played before, where you try and get event currency and then you spend that currency by going into this section of the game, the Mog Shop. You can trade off the currency. You have Poetics. I'm just going to call them Poetics because that's basically what I remember them being in 14. By getting Poetics by doing either achievements in the FF14 event, like beat a mission 5 times total, or just, going through the mission every time and getting each and every, enemy dead and just successfully getting it. You'll get so many of these things. And this shop has a fair number of options that I'll go through real quick. You have some items to build weapons, you have some EXP items, you have some equipment EXP items, and you have, of course, some of the upgrading material for both Y'shtola and Thancred, both things that you will need. You can also get recipes for one of Thancred's weapons, which is a pretty good investment if you have any intention of getting and using Thancred. You can get shards for him to increase or limit break him, as well as for Y'shtola. And every day you can buy 3 of these tickets. 3 of these tickets have a good number of chances of, a good number of things that can drop, from shards of the characters to Thancred himself, which is a big get, and congratulations if you did get it. So far from 6 tickets, I have not got him, but I do believe I have some of his shards, so there you go. Also, the second type of currency you get from pulling on the banner, if you get enough of them, a total of 300, you can end up getting a copy of Thancred, which is basically what you need, or you can trade it in for some other things, although Thancred would be the real goal here. It should be noted that as a free-to-player who plays through the game right now, you can do enough pulls to get him. RNG has to be a little bit kind to help you along the way, because you can get anywhere from 10 to 50 coins. And by the way, I don't like or support the idea that it is a variable number of coins, but either way, this will get you a Thancred eventually, doing enough 10 pulls. Or you can save for Final Fantasy Tactics, which will be coming into the future. Of course, there is also the FF14 banner, and this banner does have a couple of special things. As I found out, you cannot get Thancred from it. You basically need to get coins and trade that in for Thancred, or just get the tickets every day and hope that you get lucky to get Thancred. I did hear that Clayek got incredibly lucky, so Clayek, if you ever watch this video, congratulations to you, bud. I'm extremely jealous. Anyway, the 2 big things from here are the Shadowbringers card prints. These card prints will give you a pretty good advantage versus some of the tough challenges, but one is a SSR, one is a UR, and just from doing multi-pulls, if you're going for Thancred, you'll probably end up getting them. Probably. RNG being kind. But enough talking about that. What are the problems with the event? The problems with the event, and keep in mind this is the first event, is that it is far, just way too grindy. The drop rate for the items is incredibly low, ridiculously low. I am in no doubt that a lot of people are going to be annoyed about this, and this is great. I really support the idea of many people out there not playing this game right now, and especially not spending money on this game. I don't care so much about the premium bonus. I think that a premium bonus is pretty nice for people who are supporting the game. And as it turns out, you can earn the premium bonus by just playing the game every day. Will take 3 years, but at least it's not exclusive only to money. So there you go. But yeah, when it comes to the FF14 event, there are two major problems. One, it is incredibly difficult. The best stages to do farming on require level 50 units and job level being pretty high too. It is just way too difficult. It is obviously designed to get people to spend money. The only people that I know that are currently doing a lot of this are whales. And fair enough, I guess, but it feels kind of bad for your first event and it needs to change immediately. I have no doubt that it will improve over time, but for the 14 event, a event I was specifically looking forward to, it's a little disappointing that the grinding is so low. That being said, stages 1, 2, and 3 are pretty darn easy, just consisting of regular maps where you will end up fighting basically regular enemies that are a little FF14 orientated from the game. Other than that, it starts getting a little more difficult once you get into stage 4. There's really no point in showing 1, 2, and 3. They are pretty easy, and I was able to do them with pretty low-level characters. What I'm more interested in talking about is battle number 4. Battle number 4 is where things start getting just more difficult. You need more powerful characters, or at least a really good friend unit to come along with you. That is a more difficult mission where there's a lot of skeletons. The skeletons dish out fairly high damage, but there is a very unique trick to it. The trick to this stage is that there are 2 captain skeletons. You can tell by them having more HP and just being, different colored. There's one for dark and there's one for ice. If you kill the captains, all the underlings die too. I actually really like this mechanic and it was pretty fun. I even enjoy playing this stage quite a few more times, just on the idea of trying to lure out the boss skeletons a little bit more and then just killing them, and then all their underlings die, and it's like, yeah, that felt good. Awesome. So there isn't overly a great strategy I've found, but if people would like to, I will be more than happy to do this in another video. So let's focus on the real difficult one as far as I've found, which is number 5, of course, not talking about EX. So let's find a friend unit real quick. That'll do. And as you can see, this is currently my team that I am running, a bunch of URs and Ishtola, and well, let's just give it a shot, shall we? 25 energy, here we go. Wait for it to load up. But yeah, there is no doubt in my mind that there needs to be a lot of improvements to War of the Visions. I don't think, though, that people should necessarily write it off just because of the way things are at the start. If you remember how Brave Exvius was at the start with troll rainbows and, incredibly difficult to level and, unknown systems and a lot of stuff that was just out of range of a lot of people, that's War of the Visions right now. And over time, it has gotten better. The only thing that I can think of to be a little more encouraging towards some of the people out there who are on the fence is that, recently Dragalia Lost and Epic 7 both launched with some pretty rough, overly grindy games. And over the last little while, they have gotten better. They've added some new stuff that is some new grind, but you kind of need grind in any of these games to me, one of the things is that grind is okay so long as you are, feeling like you are making progress. And that is what I have felt with my one weekend of War of the Visions. Over time, it will depend how, difficult it is. But a lot of these games, unless you are spending a lot of money and this is going to be your life, probably just take it easy and have some fun with the game. I will say this as a quick mention in the middle of this video, that the story is, really easy to just go through with the main character and a couple of SSR characters. And have a really good time with it. So yeah, really happy to have other people playing this game, but I would say don't necessarily write this game off because the gameplay is there. It just needs to be improved so that the grind is a little more friendly to free to play at this point. That's what I would say, but if it's making money from the whales, they're doing something right from a business standpoint, and as it gets easier, more people will probably just give it a try and realize it's pretty fun. So yeah, let's take a look at this map, shall we? So in the final stage, you are against a Sin Eater, and you need to take this boss seriously. This boss is a difficult one. He is very, very powerful, capable of dishing out a lot of damage. There are also 2 treasure chests on the map, and while they should be a focus, they will not probably be a priority. Alright, so let's head back. Alright, wait. What? That's weird. Oh, right. Never mind. Let's just get everybody back where they are. That's probably pretty good. There is no guarantee that I'm going to win this for this video. Sorry, placing units, my brain had a bit of a brain fart for a second. Alright, so Ayaka is just far too fast, so she will go in first. He also is one of my more tankier units, so I do feel a little bit safer putting her in there. And now we'll just charge up our monk girl, who's going to be doing most, if not all, of our damage. We do want to keep our units pretty separated here. And there is a very important that we are keeping our units separated, because there is some incredibly big danger to be had with this boss. Again, he can dish out a lot of damage. So we want to throw this ability out. This will give us a little bit of light resistance. And we'll also get Medina out here, and Medina is going to throw off her limit burst because, as you can see, Medina does a whole bunch of damage. Video just be doozing it for me. So we'll fire off an attack here. But yeah, this boss has a lot of HP, and it can be incredibly difficult for people if you have not a good... So here he comes. As you can see, a lot of damage. Now, I even have the cards from the event, which do give some party insurance against light damage. But as you can see, this boss is pretty serious. So let's get Ayaka here doing her limit burst. Because at this point, I would rather focus on keeping my one really strong character alive, because she will be doing most of the damage. We're also a little unfortunate since our placing has... But this enemy will target seemingly random units. It doesn't really seem to have a strategy, but yeah... My dark base characters will have an advantage here. As you can see, we're dishing out fair big good damage against this enemy so far. Actually, let's move back for a second. Hey, 1997. It's just a total coincidence. That's the year Final Fantasy VII came out. Now, this is probably going to get this character killed, but you should not bunch any of your units together. Mainly because this boss has a really big AoE attack that can wipe out just a mass amount. You are better to try and focus on just doing a lot of damage rather than trying to get too fancy with this fight. If you do, you could just end up dying. Again, Medina's going to be doing a fair amount of work for us. Not a lot of damage from a light-based attack. As you can see, yeah, this boss is just kind of a killer. But thankfully, if you do have some good, strong friends with a really good Medina unit, that should be able to get you through this fight. It's just funny for me because my highest damage dealing character is, or the best tanky character I have is my healer, which isn't terrible. And just like any game, you can get an advantage by attacking from the back. The problem is do I go for this or do I go for a bigger attack the following turn? I'm going to risk it and go for the bigger attack on the following turn. Again, not worried. It's not a big deal if your characters die, so long as you actually get a win out of it. And as you can see, we're whittling down the boss quite nicely. Gonna take a weak turn here and get countered and get killed. Didn't pick up the treasure chest, but again, oh, never mind, we are gonna get that chance. Pretty much dead at this point, so I will take the turn and just pick up the poetics. Actually, this went really smoothly. Again, some of the more important points in this fight are basically keeping your characters spaced out enough that the enemy never has enough incentive. It seems like the AI takes really big advantage of mistakes, and to that point, you should not allow your group to be too close together. You will just get flat wiped. But with some proper strategy, some proper spacing, and some strong enough characters, as you can see, we took him down. Still missing this mission because it's still a little difficult to keep all my characters from dying, mainly just because he has a elemental weakness against light. But as you can see, this is my team. Level 29 Ziza, level 22 Ayaka, 27, can't remember his name, Mashiri 25, and last but not least, Ishtola at level 20. Lots of these characters have died in previous versions of this fight, but yeah, worked out pretty nicely, got some stuff from it. There you go. And since I'm not strong enough, I just cannot do a guide right now for the EX stage, but if I do get to that point, I will make that guide later. But anyway, that's the FF14 event. For people who are low level, try to farm maybe stage 3 or stage 4. Really, at the beginning part of the game, you should just be doing the story as much as you can. Get your rank higher, get a higher energy quota that you can have here, just get your characters more powerful, and then start doing the FF14 event. Doing the achievements will give you enough for a couple of days worth of tickets, and hopefully by then you will be far enough into the game that grinding will be at least easier. Once your characters have enough HP, the boss is less scary, but still pretty strong. Anyway, so that's basically my guide for the more difficult stage in the free-to-play range. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.